Hey, Sadmad.
Hey Nathan, how are you?
Good? Yeah, good. You're back from a tour of the US, I guess. You went to, where'd you go? You went to San Francisco, obviously,
Yes.
New York, went to the Clay office. Did you go anywhere else? Came back with you and Javeria, brought the Clay Cup back, just kind of casually back to, well, she was in Pakistan, but yeah.
She was in Pakistan. Unfortunately, she couldn't make through the visa process, but I was there to represent Pakistan in Clay Cup. And yeah, the whole tour was amazing. I went to New York. Basically, I went to DC first, where my friend Abdul lives, and I was staying
Mm.
at his house. Super generous guy. He hosted me so well. And then we went to New York, visited a lot of places, met my clients, had a lot of meetings, went to Clay's office, and then came back to DC, then flew to San Francisco, and then the whole Clay Cup and the sculpt happened. We won Clay Cup, yeah. Then went back to DC, and lots of sightseeing in the process, like the whole tour. And then yeah, now I'm back. I got back to Pakistan, but currently I'm in Thailand, so I'm in on a workcation. Yes.
Okay. That's awesome. How long are you in Thailand for?
I am here for like 20 days. So I went back to Pakistan for like 2 weeks
Okay.
and then flew to Thailand. Currently, I'm in Bangkok,
Mm.
and visiting, a couple more cities here. But
Mm.
the idea is to basically work, but more in a peaceful environment, like traveling, sightseeing as well in the day, and then working as well. So yeah, that's how it's uh, recently. Yep.
Love it. Are you eating Thai food? Can you handle Thai spice?
Oh yeah, it's really spicy sometimes. Like when you tell them like make it spicy, because I come from the Middle East, the Eastern background. I tell them to make it spicy, but it's too much to handle. So yeah, but it's really good. The food is really nice. Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah.
Nice. Love it. Okay. Yeah, excited to jump in. I have a couple of questions for you. So I guess tell me about a little bit of an intro about you and where you were before you discovered Clay and Clay Bootcamp.
Okay, so basically, I co-founded this company called Ole.io. We provide digital transformation services to real estate agents, basically helping them from brand identity design to website design development, MLS integration, local SEO, and all sorts of digital presence services. And at that time, before I got into Clay, I was basically I'm in charge of sales and marketing of my company, and I have a co-founder that takes care
Mhm.
of the operations side. So I wanted to build some outbound motion for my own company, because at that time I only had the inbound motion.
Mhm.
So we used to put design credits on our
Mhm.
websites. The link on the bottom on the footer on each of our websites, and we used to get referral traffic from there, and that was like our only motion at that time.
Mhm.
And the number of churn clients was increasing, and I was like at this point where I needed to at least 2x my incoming clients just to sustain the business. And that's when I started looking out for like go to market motions that I could use to increase my business. And then first uh, got into Clay. I discovered Clay Bootcamp, discovered you basically, and we got to chat a lot of times, right? A lot about different ideas, different things that I could try, and then eventually developed this interest in Clay. I started exploring it first, but like I couldn't find the direction or the path to follow to actually be able to execute it fully to generate the pipeline or generate the outcome that I was looking for. And yeah, that's
Mhm.
how and during that time the Clay Bootcamp scholarship was announced, and I was one of the luckiest, I would say, the two applicants who got the scholarship. And yeah, that's how I got into Clay Bootcamp.
Love it. Okay. And what was it that you wanted to improve the outbound motion for your current company, that was your motivation at the time to join, or was there something else?
Exactly. Yeah, that was the only motivation. The I would say the primary motivation, but also I would say there were like a lot of secondary ideas that I have always had in my mind. So, for example, like it's my dream to create job opportunities for other youngsters, other people in my country, because I see a lot of talented people in Pakistan, but they do not, oftentimes, they do not get the opportunities that anybody living in the Western side of the world would get. So
Hmm.
it's always been my dream to, create more job opportunities for the youngsters there. And I could see that if I joined Clay Bootcamp, I would be able to increase the business of my company, hence hiring more
Hmm.
technical people in my company and creating the jobs, right? So it was like I actually created like this idea of, okay, let's just put a number on the number of jobs that I want to create, and I
Hmm.
randomly put like, hey, let's just start with 100, right? Let's see
Hmm.
if I can achieve that in like next 5 years or not. And that was like the secondary goal. So I wanted to create the jobs, but at the same time, I had to create more business for my company to be able to hire those people to create those jobs.
Hmm.
So yeah, there were multiple motivations, but the primary motivation was these two.
Love it. Okay. And okay, uh, I want to dive into the details of that more later, the 100 jobs thing, because it's been really interesting to see the direction that's gone. I think it's super inspiring for me and others as well. When you joined the boot camp, what surprised you the most, would you say?
Okay, so what surprised me the most in Clay Boot Camp was the community power. So in Clay
Mm.
Boot Camp, we have this community, you see, like we meet every week, and then every
Mm.
week there's an office hour as well, and mentors top agencies coming in and answering your questions and sharing ideas. That's the kind of sense I was missing because I had no network to, meet the GTM people and learn new strategies.
Mhm.
But when I got into Clay Bootcamp, I just got this access to like these maybe like 140 or 50, 150 people who are in GTM and sharing ideas. And every day there's a new tool coming out and they're testing it and sharing results. And then all sorts of signals that they're testing and the information. If I got any question, I would just post in the community and then they will answer. So I think that was the superpower that I needed. And
Mhm.
that was the most interesting thing, I would say, that I liked about the Clay Boot Camp. Yeah.
Let's kind of go a little bit off script, and I want to talk about, I don't know if it was when you were in Clay Boot Camp or after you finished that you started building community in Pakistan, and it's taken off more than I've ever seen any Clay Club community in any country that I'm aware of take off. So I'd be curious to hear your story for that, like your perspective on that, how it happened.
Sure. So here's how it happened. So when I got the scholarship and the news went out on LinkedIn, I got ton of messages from like the fellow uh, Pakistanis who had applied for the scholarship, but
Mm.
I was the lucky one who got it. And then they were asking a lot of questions about Clay Bootcamp and Clay in general and GTM in general and how to become a GTM engineer, how to start a career in
Mhm.
there. And that was a time when I was still in Clay Bootcamp, like I was in second last week of my the mentorship. And then that was a time when I thought that I cannot answer each of these guys manually in DMs.
Mm.
How
Mhm.
about I create a centralized platform and push this information forward, and
Mm.
everybody gets to know what I'm working on and what I'm learning through Clay Bootcamp, and then I push it forward to the community. So I started doing that. So I did a randomly I did a post on LinkedIn that, hey, I'm creating a GTM community in Pakistan. Who is willing to join?
Mm.
And there were like 50 different comments that hey, I want to join, right? And then I posted my like a form link, and then maybe like 70 different people, they filled out the form, and I got the whole list. And then the next task was to add all of them in a WhatsApp community. So I created the community, and then added all of them in there. And then the next thing that I did was created a Google Doc where I put all the information about the resources to learn Clay and to learn these automation tools, and then how to start your GTME career, like a short kind of a brief. So that, hey, you go to this link, go to Clay University and learn, go watch all the videos, then go to this creator's content, watch all the videos, and then go to Clay playbooks and create those playbooks, right? So kind of step by step thing. and gathered all the resources, put them in the Google Doc, and made that public and shared that in the community. And then suddenly, what I saw was people were so ready to uh, start learning clay that everybody just started learning. And then what happened next was everybody started dropping more questions into the community. So
Uh,
it became another kind of a struggle to answer those questions. So I used to take out time out of my clay bootcamp thing, and then my own company running chores, and out of that my personal life, and then answer those questions. So kind of it started building momentum, and the whole community sense was so good that everybody who knew something, they started answering. And then suddenly, at some point, it used to happen that the community would go super dead, no questions, no answers for like a couple days. And I would post a question by myself to reignite the passion. So why I did that? And again, like, remember I talked about the primary motivation of joining Clay Bootcamp, like creating those 100 jobs. This is where the idea came into being, that I saw the opportunity to create 100 jobs without me creating business for my own company and then hiring them.
Mhm.
How about I told myself, how about I take a different route where I share all the resources with them, and the job opportunities are available in the market. They will learn these resources and then go and apply to those jobs, and eventually most of them were able to get the jobs. So you will see a lot of Pakistani people are working in top clay agencies. You name it, every clay agency has like at least one Pakistani GTM engineer working in there, and they are in my community. So
Awesome.
what I figured out was, if I shared the right resources with them, I did not need to put more effort to reach the goal that I was trying to reach.
Hmm.
So that's how I reframed my goal and made sure that the community was active, so that people were learning and they're getting jobs, or they started their freelance career as a GTM engineer. So yeah, that was the
Wow.
whole thought behind the community, and making sure that it was active, so that the people who wanted to learn and were too shy to ask questions, they would see the content and they will feel encouraged to ask questions. Yes.
Very cool. I've seen a bunch of LinkedIn posts about people meeting in person as well.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Because I think you've flown to a couple of them as well, right? How did that happen?
Yes. So the first thing, okay, so when I launched the community, I used to see that people were launching clay clubs across the world, but there was no clay club in Pakistan locally. And I was
Hmm.
desperately looking for GTM people to hang out with, like meet in person, because I needed a network, right? So what I did was converted the community into a clay club. So I called it Clay Club Karachi. That's my city, right?
Hmm.
I created the clay club, organized the first club, and surprisingly, a lot of people from different parts of Pakistan started popping up that, hey, I work in clay, and they joined the community, right? And then there are different
Wait,
cities like Lahore, Islamabad.
they asked for things in their city, or did people travel? How did that?
People traveled from different
Oh,
cities
wow.
to Karachi to attend this club, because they were using clay in their tech stack somewhere, but there was no
Hmm.
network that they could network with. So there were some people who actually flew to Karachi, and it was great to see, all the clay users in Karachi. And then that's when it triggered another idea of launching more clay clubs in other cities, because people
Hmm.
needed like in-person events in other cities, in Lahore, in Islamabad, right? And then the first next city that we launched was Clay Club Lahore.
Hmm.
That was back in, I guess, August. And then recently, like the last month, we launched it in Islamabad as well. So it's like three clay clubs in last 6 months launched in Pakistan through this community. All of them are the parts of the community, and they're amazing people doing amazing stuff in their own directions. Yeah. So to answer your questions, I actually flew to those clubs, not Islamabad, because the Islamabad one happened when the Clay Cup was happening. So I flew to
Hmm.
Lahore and met a lot of people. So I was surprised that there was 100 plus attendance in the first Clay Club in Lahore in
Wow.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of them, like, they knew me from LinkedIn and from Clay Bootcamp, that, hey, you got the scholarship and I have been following you. So there was one guy that I met. He said, hey, I am following you from the day you were awarded this Clay Bootcamp scholarship, and I've been
Mm,
consuming your LinkedIn content and signed up on your newsletter as well. And he reminded me that he actually had a meeting with me, online meeting as well, me helping him or introducing him to Clay. And then he told me that, hey, I have closed two projects, two clients, and now I'm working with
nice.
them. Yeah, and making more than he actually left the job, and he's making more than almost 2x than what he was making at his previous job. So that was my Clay Club Lahore experience. And then that gives you the motivation, right? So that was the primary goal that help people get the jobs or make more money, get into the clay industry so that, yeah, like everybody could grow. So it just grew from there.
Amazing. And with the first Clay Club, did you like coordinate with Clay? How did that work? I've talked with Lele a little bit about that, about just how they launched them, but I'm curious about your story there.
So it was basically me approaching Clay to launch the club because we I
Mm,
already had this community and I was seeing that the clubs were being launched in, let's say, India or US and other countries,
mhm.
and I wanted to do it locally in Pakistan, but there was like no one doing it at that point and a lot of DMs, a lot of requests in the community as well. So I approached Clay and requested them that if I could, run a trial event in Karachi and then possibly evolve that into a Clay club. And yeah, luckily got the chance to organize that club.
Nice. Nice. Awesome. I'm looking at my questions. I'm like, that story, there's nothing that can top that story. Uh, so, okay, let's see. Do you want to add any wins that you're proud of that might be inspiring to other people who are starting their journey?
Right from I started, I got into Clay Bootcamp. Until now, every month has been like a new win for me. So let's say after the first month, I launched this Clay community. And the very week that I was graduating, I got five offers, full-time offers from five different Clay agencies to work with them.
Mm,
And that was like a career change for me because I was running my own agency, but at the same time, I wanted to explore the B2B side of it, like the Clay's use cases of B2B, because my kind of company is more B2C. So
mhm.
but even then I was able to use Clay for that for my own company, but I wanted to explore the B2B side. So that's why I thought, why not give it a chance? So I got five different full-time job offers from five Clay agencies, plus an enterprise also offered me a job. uh, but I
Okay.
was not able to, yeah, so I was not able to work with them because I already had this my own company thing going on and they wouldn't allow it for the conflict of interest reasons. So but yeah, like I had this first win in the first month, and then the second month I joined Adam Andrzejewski. He runs a Clay Experts agency, Stellar Growth. That was like my uh, I partnered with him to serve clients, and from there, like served a lot of clients. So, for example, like in a case study where, which is like one of the best case studies that I have done, is that I helped this vertical SaaS. They generated $500,000 of business annual recurring
Mm,
revenue in revenue, not the sales pipeline, the actual revenue numbers within 4 months of us working with them.
mm,
Apart from that like a lot of different companies, like a company with 500 plus headcount, we help them generate more meetings, almost 2x meetings than their whole sales team was generating.
no.
So
Oh, wow. Mm,
there are a lot of great wins that we came through when I was working as Stellar Growth and independently as well. And after that, we competed in Clay Cup. So this is an interesting story as well, that Clay did not because I was community lead of Karachi, I was not eligible to apply as a contestant in Clay Cup. So I had to train someone or select someone from my community uh,
mm,
to compete in Clay Cup. So not selected a few of them. Like I was asking my community to take part in the Clay Cup. We got some applications and we ended up selecting Javeria Shah
mm.
to compete in Clay Cup and represent Pakistan, because there was just one Clay Cup at that time, Clay Club at that time, who could participate officially, right? So
Mm,
there was just one participant from Pakistan, a girl named Javeria Shah. She's an automations engineer, an amazing one. And I coached her for the Clay Cup. And we eventually ended up winning it in San Francisco in
mm.
October. uh, so so yeah, that was
Like,
another win.
was it 2 weeks ago?
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
yeah.
It's wild.
That
Yeah.
was 2 weeks ago. Yes. So so yeah, that was the another win. And now I'm working with a few clients who are in, especially in vertical SaaS. So I have launched my own agency. It's called Sales Unicorn. That's also name of my newsletter. So yeah, it's another win for me that I'm launching this month, like even this week, and I'm already working with a couple clients under that agency.
Incredible.
So yeah, that's been the wins. Like every month has been interesting for me. It's amazing to see like how the Clay Boot Camp pivoted how I was thinking about my business. I was able to add 20,000 ARR to my business within 2 months of graduating from Clay Bootcamp as well. So that's like another win. So it's like, and since then, like that was maybe like March, and since then we have been generating huge pipeline for Ole.io, which is the name of my company, and like we get like 2 to 3 at least warm leads to our company with automated outreach using Clay, and that's all I learned through Clay Bootcamp.
Love it. Amazing. Yeah. And you're traveling right now, traveling the world. It's like the like I'm living my dreams and I'm on my laptop and at the beach, and I don't know
Yeah,
if you're doing
the
those. I
nomad
haven't seen any
life.
of those pictures. Yeah, the
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like it's the thought of living a nomad life is
Mm,
amazing, and I haven't lived a nomad life before. I actually, so this was another win for me, that I was able to fly from Pakistan to the United States, represent
mm.
Pakistan at an international stage, and actually being able to win the cup and raise my flag in front of the whole world. That was an amazing feeling. Like I can 100% attribute this success to Clay Boot Camp and all the mentors I got in Clay Boot Camp and in the community. And that's because like that's where it all started. If I was not part of Clay Boot Camp, I would not have learned these skills, and I would not have been able to coach anyone at Clay or build this community or make the revenue I'm making or help the businesses I have helped. So yeah, 100% the attribution goes to Clay Boot Camp.
Well, thank you for the kind words, and I'm glad we've been able to be uh a part of your success. Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
you took an opportunity and have ran with it so far, and it's been inspiring for me and so many others to see. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
before we go, let's do if you want to do any shout outs to people in the community, and then maybe we'll talk about advice to anyone who's getting started in the space. So let's start with any shout outs.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, 100% the shout out goes to my mentors and my coaches in Clay Boot Camp.
Mm.
I was coached by Katie Theus. She's an amazing like GTM expert, I would say. And then my coaches Flory and Jay, and also he was also my mentor for the last part of my program. And of course, the first and foremost, Nathan Lippy. Thank you so much for helping me with the mindset change with and of course selecting me as the winner of the scholarship, because that was the pivot point for me. And even before that, I would like to thank you for helping me make some decisions. I actually made a LinkedIn post about it like yesterday, that you helped me make this critical decision in my life when I was actually trying to leave my country and go into another country, do masters, and maybe build my business from there. But that was costing my business a lot of like it was damaging to my business at that time, because I did not have the systems automated, or I did not have a robust team to take care of the business. It's been an amazing experience being with you, sharing ideas with you and picking up your brains when I'm stuck at points. So yeah, thank you so much to the Clay Bootcamp community, to the mentorship provided by you and all the mentors and the coaches in the community.
It's been a pleasure. Well, thank you.
Talking about your second question, that what anybody who's just starting out, what would be the tips that I would give them, is that one thing that helped me grow a lot was me creating my own audience on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
besides learning it from Clay Bootcamp. So as I was learning, I was also creating an audience on LinkedIn by sharing whatever I was learning.
Mm-hmm.
And also the ideas that I was executing, I was sharing the workflows, I was sharing all the knowledge. And that started creating, that created a rolling ball effect for me, that my audience grew to a point where people approach me now for coaching as well. That, hey, I want someone to coach me one-on-one. And I'm like, okay, we can do that. Yeah. Because it's like I have been helping people beyond my comfort zone. And this is kind of a trait that I love about myself. And it comes from people like you again, and a lot of people in my life who love to give. And that the ideology behind it, that is that when you're giving something, the nature, it creates a void, right, that in the space,
Mm.
and to fill that space, the nature rewards you back. So it's kind of a cycle. So you're giving away, and thus nature gives you back. Nature only gives you when you're sharing it. And the moment you start sharing whatever it is it, if it's money or it's resources or it's the intelligence or knowledge or whatever you call it, if you're giving it, you will get more. If you have
Mm.
stopped sharing that, automatically the nature will stop giving you more.
Mm.
So this is what I believe in. It's kind of a cycle. So I make sure that I'm giving all my, like, the knowledge to my community via LinkedIn, via my sales newsletter, and also my the one-on-one calls I do. So yeah, I guess that would be my first and foremost tip, that there's a lot of content available on the internet to learn Clay. If you're in Clay Bootcamp, you're learning from the top guns, like the top-notch people who, I would say, like top 0.001% who are in Clay space. If you're not sharing that knowledge with your audience, because you're trying to launch your Clay agency, and if you're trying to launch your Clay agency, you need your audience to interact with your content. That pushes
Yeah.
your content to the actual decision makers that you're trying to get, like the client. Uh, that's exactly the client that you're looking for, right? So
Yeah.
you need to create content alongside that. So that would be the first and foremost tip.
Love that. Yeah. It's it works so well if you make good content, but it's hard to for a lot of people. I think it's hard to believe until you've experienced it for yourself. That because it takes a while. I don't know if some people get
It
instant
does.
results. Did you get instant results from it?
No, no, no. So I used to create content on LinkedIn before, but I wouldn't get those shiny results. But
Mm-hmm.
once I got the scholarship, it started pushing, my post started reaching more audience. And then when I started content, people started interacting with my posts. And that was not, a lot of information and the knowledge that I was sharing about Clay. And being associated with Clay Bootcamp, it pushed my brand as well. So there were a lot
Mm.
of, like, the moving factors in getting the reach. But I would say creating consistent content and the right thoughtful and knowledgeable content helped me gain the traction. It was like first month I was getting like 5 to 10 interactions with my LinkedIn posts, and then the next month it grew, 2x and 3x. And yeah, that's how it grew actually.
This has been really great. I think a lot of people are going to be inspired by your story. I know, of course, a lot have already been. Any closing thoughts before you go?
I would say just help others. That's the motivation. That's the goal. That whatever you learn, just help someone learn it if they are, because eventually they're going to get there. So if you are the part of their journey, they're going to be grateful and thankful to you, right? And they being thankful and grateful to you means nature being giving you more as well. So you grow as well. And also it creates a ripple effect. They get the sense and they understand firsthand that someone has helped me, and that's you, to get from point A to point B. And now they believe in the phenomena, and now they're going to
Mm.
replicate that in their community, right? So you are creating a ripple effect. So it's a bigger impact that you're creating when you're helping someone, no matter what it is, your knowledge, or your resources, your money, or whatever it is, just share and yeah, help others.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch this immediately to get inspired. Uh, um, thank you so much, Sadmad, for talking and all the good you've done for everyone in the community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having this discussion with you. Yeah.
Same,
Thank you so much for inviting me as well.
of course. Yeah. Thanks for thanks for talking. All right.